All right, we're back for another episode. I've had a good day. Have you had a good day? I hope you've had a good day, my friend. We got some more things to talk about. We're in our final division in the AFC. We're going to finish it off the AFC West. And we're going to wrap it right back up with the NFC coming episodes. So we got a good one for you. We got the Broncos, Raiders, Chiefs, and Chargers all ready to be deep dived. A little bit of preseason action. Can't lie to you, bud. I didn't watch any of the preseason. I won't lie. I did watch a little bit of the Panthers-Jets game. I just wanted to see how Bryce Young would be, but that defense was just way too good for that O-line. Maybe that may be a question mark going into the season, but it also seems like something that a lot of the league is having a problem with is O-line. But according to Mark Sanchez, we shouldn't be fearful. It's too early in the season to care about something like that yet. After our deep dive into the division of the AFC West, we got some rapid fire. We're going to talk about the Women's World Cup, a little bit of trivia, and then we got 1 through 30 to get down. You ready for the show?
Let's do it. Let's get it.
Back with the show. Let's deep into it, okay? Broncos, Raiders, Chiefs, and Chargers. You know, when you host, you make me take out my records and tell me who's going to win the division first.
Of course.
So now it's your turn to look like the numbskull first. Who you got, numbskull. And why do you have who you got?
Who I got and why I got who I got?
Mm-hmm.
I got you.
Always got the guy's got me.
Of course. I got the Chiefs winning this division for who knows how many times in a row. They've been on a roll as of a couple years. I feel like for the Chiefs, though, they're going to take a little step back. I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like every great team has a step back year, and I feel like this is going to be the Chiefs' year that they take a step back. It might only be a minor one. I had them going 11-6. His team is still really good. They got Chris Jones, even though he's holding out for more money. He's a beast, probably the second best D lineman, right behind Aaron Donald. Defense is looking good. They drafted on the defensive side of the ball the past couple of years. Offense is still really, I would say, high powered. They got Pacheco. They got him. He's a hidden gem. They got. Still got Kelsey, still got my homeboy, so they got those two, and plus the hidden gem in Pacheco. I feel like, they still got a pretty good chance to win any game. Offensive line is still really good, even though they lost. I think they lost two guys on their offensive line, right? OBJ and I forgot the other guy's name, but the offensive line is still pretty good. Still going to protect Patrick, so I'm not too worried about that. I just think their schedule is probably just a little bit tough. I mean, according to the strength of schedule, it's one of the easier ones, but I feel like, every year, whoever wins Super Bowl, you're like the targets on your head. So everyone's going to be hunting them. And I feel like that's going to cost them a couple games. They probably may have a little hangover at first, and that's going to creep up on them. So I got them going 11-6. Second, I got the Broncos. Now, everyone's excited that Sean Payton came to Colorado, and they're expecting an immediate turnaround, but I got news for you guys. I don't think it's going to be immediate. We saw in the first preseason game, and yes, it's a preseason game, but Russ did not look good. All right, so I don't know if that's foreshadowing what's to come, or if that's just like a hit or miss game. But I think it's going to take about a season or two for them to hit their stride, and I don't know if the Broncos can wait a season or two, especially with Rush's big contract about to kick in. So they might have to cut bait sooner rather than later. So I got them going 5-12. Now, if Sean Payton does work his magic, they can definitely win more games than just 5, but I'm foreseeing 5-12. The Raiders, I feel like they're the wild card in this division. They got rid of Derek Carr. They brought in Jimmy G. Jimmy G's notorious for getting you at least 10 wins. He'll get you to the playoffs, but when you get to the playoffs, that's where the questions start to come in, right? So Do they make the playoffs in this tough division? I don't think so, but I feel like there's a lot of winnable games. It's really just going to come down to how Jimmy G plays, and they got to fix the situation with Josh Jacobs because if you ain't got arguably your first best offensive player. Devontae was really good last year, but I mean, Josh Jacobs was the workhorse for that team. So he ain't got him on board. It's going to be really tough to win any game. So they got to get that fixed up. Darren Waller left them. So they have a little hole at tight end, but we'll see if someone will step up for them. But I got them going 8-9. Like I said, they could probably squeeze out another win or two, make the playoffs, but they're the real wild card in this division. And then wrapping up, I got the Chargers 10-7. Yes, Herbie's overrated, but he's kind of like a Jimmy G at this point. He's going to get you to the playoffs. 10 wins, I feel like, is his floor. They drafted, I think, Quentin Williams, that receiver. So you got him another weapon. Hopefully that'll help him, because Mike Williams and Keenan Allen always go down. So hopefully this rookie can come in and play all 17 games and help Herbie out when those two eventually do go down. They paid Austin Eckler, another $1 million, so he would shut up and come play. So we'll see if he gives them maximum output or he's just going to show up. Because I imagine he's probably still pretty disgruntled. It's probably just the extra $1 million just, got him at least to come to camp so he doesn't get fined. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how I think they got a new defensive coordinator. So we'll see if he can not let what happened last year in the playoffs against the Jags happen again. So I got them going 10-7. Probably slipping into that last wild card spot in the playoffs. So that's my 4, Lawrence. What do you got? Do you have any problems with my list? Or my breakdown, I should say.
So, I mean, mine's just basically a hot take. I mean, it is what it is. It's what I went with. So I have the Chargers winning the division at 11-6. I have a realistic idea that the Chiefs also finish 11-6. I got the Broncos finishing 8-9. I don't think that they're going to be good. I think by like halfway through the season, they're gonna start letting Russ just kind of do his own little thing and stop trying to make him play within a certain parameter, which will make him look a little bit better, and probably help them like get trade value for him, or I don't know what you really can, or try to get someone to trade for him.
Maybe.
But I think towards the end of the year, the team's going to start looking a lot better. I think they're just going to start out rough. There is a nice little mellow part in the middle of the season, which they can take advantage of. I do think the one reason why they think this division has such an easier schedule is because they're facing the NFC North, which, in all fairness, is true. But I don't think the Lions and the Vikings are a teams to like sleep on a lot.
Nope.
And to be honest with you, I had the Vikings almost going undefeated against this conference when I was doing the picks of who would win and lose. I mean, I have more faith a little bit in a team like that. But I mean, looking at it, I have the Raiders going 6-11 as well. I think this is going to be one of those teams that I think the coach is just not very good. I think Josh McDaniels is a great offensive coordinator. I don't think he's a great head coach. I think it's going to be one of those things that they finally just cut bait. I think he finally figures out that head coaching isn't for him, and he just stays an offensive coordinator like he probably should. I think there's going to be a lot of rebuilding after this. I think they're going to have to get rid of some contracts after this season. But I said I was going to have a hot take. And my hot take, I had the Chiefs finishing 11-6. If Patrick Mahomes stays healthy.
Oof.
I have a gut feeling that Patrick Mahomes does not stay healthy this season. We've seen the last couple of seasons towards the end of the season, he keeps getting hurt. This is going to be the worst offensive line he's had since he started. It's about to be the worst wide receiving core he's had since he started. I think with those two things added together, with them trying to save money, because they're paying certain guys so much, like you alluded to earlier, there's always got to be that point in time in which a team kind of falters a little bit. I don't think they falter hard. I think the Chiefs actually finished 9-8. If Patrick Mahomes gets hurt, that's my big if there. If Patrick Mahomes gets hurt, they're going to finish 9-8. If he doesn't get hurt, they're going to finish 11-6. I don't think there's a huge I don't think there's going to be it's the end of the world kind of thing if Patrick Mahomes gets hurt. But looking at Blaine Gabbert coming off your bench, being your starting quarterback with the wide receiving core that you're going to have, it's a little questionable. I don't know if I like it too much.
Wait, Chad Henne retired?
Chad Henne's retired, man.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
Blaine Gabbert is the backup quarterback in Kansas City.
Good luck
and I just have a gut feeling he's going to be one of those guys that has to step up. This also could be one of those years where you see other guys in the league, if they look really good so far in preseason, the Chiefs might have to maybe try to trade for someone. I don't really know how it's all going to go for them, but there's just something about it, during that dynasty kind of era where Brady was tearing it up. You had the 1 year where he tore his ACL and Matt Castle almost got you to the playoffs.
He went 10-6, right?
Yeah, so it's just one of those things. I'm not trying to say there's writing on the walls for it. I'm not trying to say it's gonna guaranteed happen. I'm just saying my gut feeling tells me this is the year that he gets hit low. He has a high ankle sprain that he keeps trying to play through. We're probably about we're halfway through the season, and that high ankle sprain isn't getting any better, and he's not looking too great. So they take him out. You gotta let him rest. You gotta let him recover just a little bit. And I think that's the point in time in which it happens. Because my gut feeling, I say it happens in week 11 when they play the Eagles. I think the Eagles are going to come after them hard. And I think that's just one of those games. Or it's going to happen in Denver 2 weeks before they play the Eagles in week 8. Then they don't let them play against the Dolphins. So they try it, and that's going to be one of those important games is going to be in London. I think they're going to try to keep him off the field. They're going to go into the bye week. Then they're going to play him against the Eagles, and then he aggravates it more. And then they say to themselves, okay, let's let him rest. We have a stretch where we play the Raiders, Green Bay, Bills, and Patriots. Let's see how many games we can win while he rests. Yeah. That's just my gut feeling. I mean, that's just how I have it filled out. I picked those certain teams for a reason because it just makes sense. Those teams have really good defensive lines, really good defenses, and I'm not saying that their O-line's bad. It's not. It's just not what it's been in past years, and he's been getting hurt in these past couple of years. So, injuries add up. They kind of show things, and he hasn't really had much time to, besides the off seasons, to rest. He's constantly going to the Super Bowl, constantly going to AFC Championship game. So he's constantly, in that spotlight. And we saw it with I know NBA and NFL are two different things, but we finally kind of saw Giannis break a little bit this postseason in the playoffs. They kind of, Giannis has constantly been a staple for him. Well, this is one of the first times we saw Giannis just, get hurt, not play, and it'd be costly. So I just feel like that's going to happen to the Chiefs. Whether or not it happens or not, that's why I have the Chiefs finishing 11-6 if he stays healthy, or he stays healthy enough most of the season. I still think the Chargers somehow, I don't know, I still feel like they somehow win the division. Maybe they have a better record against the division. I think they might have a better record against the division only because, everyone's going to play the Chiefs harder than everyone else in the division, so they probably don't get the, the luck in certain games because the Broncos are going to play you double hard. The Warriors are going to play you double hard, and the Chargers are going to play you double hard. But when you play the Chargers, the Broncos are going to play the Chargers hard, but they're not going to go as hard against the Chargers as they're going to go against the Chiefs because you really want to take down that little guy, that asshole. I'm just going to say it. That asshole who just constantly keeps winning your division and making it look like cake.
Yeah, he makes it look like cake, definitely.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
next,
I
yeah, go and take my hot take for what it is.
No, I was just gonna say I agree with you. I think there's gonna be injuries. I don't know if it's gonna be Mahomes. I have a feeling it might be Kelsey, even though Kelsey's kind of like a Iron Man. I feel like it's with all the mileage on his body. I feel like, and plus, like you said, the receiving core is just kind of trash. So I think he's gonna get too many targets and just get hit the wrong way, and probably like you said, get like an ankle sprain or something. And I mean, that man is getting up there in age too, so it's gonna be one of the two. Plus the offensive line, like you said, is probably gonna be arguably the worst. So between those three position groups, it's gonna be one of them.
Mm-hmm. All right, so moving on, we're going to break down the rosters. We've kind of already dwelled on it a little bit. I mean, we're going to talk about the rosters here, but starting with quarterback, you got Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Jimmy G, and Justin Herbert. I want to say it's pretty fair to give a top four or give a rundown on the top four.
Yeah,
I'll go ahead and say it, and I'll go Mahomes, Herbert, Wilson, Garoppolo, and you tell me if I'm crazy.
you're not. I have the first two like you do. I don't know. I just feel like Russ has won a championship, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like the little things that tell you if someone's declining, I feel like are there for Russ. Uh, I mean, offensive line isn't that bad. Receiving core is pretty decent. Running back, even though he got hurt last year when he played, was pretty good. Javonte Williams. I feel like he had all the necessary tools in the toolbox, and he just couldn't get it done. And you can blame Nathaniel Hackett all you want to. I mean, if you're that guy, you're supposed to just win with anybody. So I don't know. I feel like his decline is probably like I don't think it's wrong to say that Jimmy G is better than him. I mean, I don't know. Jimmy G can give me 10 wins. He's done it multiple times. Even on, I mean, some 49ers teams that weren't even that good, he got them to 10 wins. He got them to playoffs. So
But
I
can
don't
you
know.
stay healthy enough to get you 10 wins? And then with your backup quarterback being Aiden O'Connell, Chase Garbers, and Brian Hoyer, I don't even know how Brian Hoyer is literally got to be there just to hold the playbook.
Yeah, but I
So,
mean, Jimmy G got Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs. I feel like he can work magic with that. I feel like Jimmy G is probably the third best quarterback. Russ is probably going to prove me wrong, but I got to put him last. After last season,
next we got running back. I'll let you dive into that one first.
Now this is interesting because I feel like running back in this division is like all these guys can do multiple things. They can run, they can catch, they run after the catch. I feel like it's difficult to rate these guys. What Denver has Javonte Williams. Hopefully he's coming back. I already said the Chiefs got Pacheco, the little hidden gem. Who the Raiders got Josh Jacobs, and then the Chargers got Austin Eckler. I feel like just based off of last year, you probably got to go Josh Jacobs number one. I mean, he led the league in rushing. Pretty sure he led the league in all-purpose yards too. So he's probably number one. And then from there, I feel like you can't go wrong with who you want. I mean, if you want like a guy who can do it both, you will put Austin Eckler too. But if you want like a pure running back who can also catch, then you pick Javonte Williams because that kid is really good. He just got unlucky and got hurt. So I don't know. And even Pacheco's good. So I don't know. I guess my preference, I feel like running backs got to do both. So maybe I would go to Eckler second, Javonte Williams, then Isaiah Pacheco. But yeah, I feel like the last three are based on preference.
Fair, fair. So, I mean, I'm going to go take it a little step further. I'm going to break it down based on your top two running backs. So I got Josh Jacobs and Amir Abdullah, and Josh Jacobs are just the better two. Josh Jacobs can do both. Amir Abdullah is a great guy out of the backfield to throw a pass to. So I think with those two, they're the two best in the division. Then I'm gonna head over to. I'm just gonna head over to the Chargers, and I'm just gonna pick Austin Eckler just because I think if I was to do single guy, I think I would take Eckler over Josh Jacobs just because personally, I think Josh Jacobs is fighting for the bigger battle, and I feel like that might venture into this season as well. But I think as a group in Las Vegas, it's just too strong. I think Austin Eckler as like a fantasy weapon alone is just incredible. So then it comes down to Kansas City and Denver, and I'm actually going to go Kansas City over Denver because Pacheco can do both. You got to look at the bigger picture. They got Jerick McKinnon now, or they've had him, but the way the things that he can do in the passing game and Pacheco can do in the running game just complement each other really well. And then don't forget Clyde Edwards-Helaire is still there, so he's not gone or anything.
He's kind of falling off though.
He can be serviceable. He hasn't worn out his body yet. My only problem with Javonte Williams, he wasn't like a workload back at North Carolina, and you kind of saw it last year. Workload wise, it gets kind of tough on his body. And outside of him as a running back, I mean, I guess Samaje Perine. I mean, he's been okay for most of his career, but never anything outstanding or incredible. So that's the only reason why I would take Kansas City a little bit higher, just more depth at the position. That's all.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, if you're gonna go whole running back core, then yeah, that makes sense. Your rankings. I got no
next
problems.
up, you got wide receivers. That's kind of a tough one based solely on the fact of how good the Raider single wide receiver is.
Yeah, let me see now. You got me looking at the depth charts. I got to see who we got. I mean, yeah, the Raiders.
All about
The Raiders,
depth, man.
The Raiders got they got Jacoby Myers now. See, they only got a good 1, 2, 3 punch. Like that is damn good.
I mean,
but
they
the
got
Chargers
Hunter
too,
Renfrow
like
for the slot.
Yeah, this is. Oh, and the Raiders drafted Michael Mayer. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Don't forget tight ends. Don't forget tight ends.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna do it like this. All right. I think the Raiders definitely have the best. If we're including tight ends, they got the best overall. All right. They got the best receiver, and they got they probably got the best slot receiver too. Like if you're not including Tyreek Hill, Hunter Renfrow is probably the best slot receiver. They got Jacoby Myers, and they got Austin Hooper. I'm not too familiar with him. I know he's decent, but then they drafted the rookie, who's arguably the best tight end in the draft, but he was the second one picked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going Raiders. Then I don't know. I think
don't let the Broncos fool you. A lot of these guys already got hurt.
Yeah,
Tim Patrick's already hurt. Marvin Mims is already questionable.
I want to take them for what they are. No, so let's not get into the injuries yet. So I'm gonna go Raiders, Broncos, Chargers, Chiefs. Sorry, Chiefs, but I mean, Chargers really good, but I mean, this rookie is the wild card for them. I feel like, and the Broncos, like Jerry Jeudy and Courtland Sutton, are really good. I feel like they just haven't had a decent quarterback to consistently get them nice throws. And I feel like I don't know, they're talented, so I'm gonna go. Yeah, they have to be 3 for me, or what 2?
I'm gonna go Vegas, LA, Broncos, Chiefs. I just think the Chargers, tight end wise, it's very questionable. I think Gerald Everett and Donald Parham Jr. can get the job done pretty well. I think Donald Parham, if he could just stay healthy, would be an awesome time that he just doesn't stay healthy. But man, you got Mike Williams, you got Keenan Allen, and since we're not taking injuries into consideration, they got Quentin Johnson. This kind of looks fun to watch, especially with Herbert's accuracy. And we don't think he's the greatest quarterback or anything, but his accuracy is there. It's pretty good.
That's all right.
Now we're going to match it with the fact that the Chiefs, I mean, we're going to talk about their best wide receiver being Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Yeah, I don't know about
MVS,
that.
yeah.
And then
A little
Kadarius
questionable.
Toney. Kadarius Toney's never been that do everything, prove it kind of guy. He's always hurt as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just want so many rookies to step up and do everything for you. I don't particularly care for it.
Yeah.
And so, Travis Kelce's going to be the guy again. He's used to that role. I think
it's nothing
weakness. I think the weakness of the Broncos for me is definitely Cortland Sutton's hands and their tight end group. And then Vegas is just if they can just get a really good quarterback. Jimmy G can be that really good quarterback, but that wide receiving room is just kind of unfair a little bit.
Yeah, it's up there with some of the best.
Be a great Madden team.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
O-line wise, I mean, I don't tell you guys every time. We're no all-stars at O-lines, but we kind of understand a little bit. What would you rank your offensive lines?
All right, well, Denver has to be last because Denver's offensive line has been bad for years.
Oh, yeah.
Especially last year. Russ was just running. So, partly that's the blame for him playing bad was the offensive line had him running looking like Joey B out there. But, yeah, so Broncos automatically go last. I feel like the Chargers have a good offensive line. I really don't see Herbie scrambling too much. When he scrambles, it's because he wants to. And Austin Eckler, even though he really can't run between the tackles, he can still run and get you 3 to 4 yards. So I'm gonna go Chargers first, then probably Raiders. I feel like Derek Carr, same thing. Wasn't really scrambling. He got caught a couple times last year, but I feel like for him, Derek Carr just held on to the ball too long. So I feel like that was his main problem. I think the offensive line is decent. So I'm gonna go Chargers 1, Raiders 2, Chiefs 3, Broncos 4.
I'll completely agree with that. I mean, I'm looking over this Chiefs offensive line right now. The amount of young guys they have on it's pretty wild.
Yeah, they got to go cheap.
I don't know about the Jawan. See, my whole thing about giving them a lot of crap is the Jawan Taylor. Pretty sure he's been a
they signed him.
tackle.
They signed him to big money.
Wasn't he always a left tackle and they moved him to right tackle, or has he always been a right tackle and they moved him to left tackle?
I don't know. He basically replayed OBJ, right? So wherever they knew that they were going to lose Orlando Brown Jr. because they already said they weren't going to pay him. So they pretty much, I feel like, are just going to plug and play him.
Yeah, I think that was just the problem. Is I just know going into the season, everything I read up on, and I can't remember which one it is, but they're making him change the sides of the ball, which just seems really dumb. Trying to make a guy who's an all-pro change the sides of the field doesn't make any sense at all. So
yeah,
going into D lines now.
Ooh.
I can dive into this thing a little first.
Take this one first.
D-line wise, depends.
It's tough.
It depends what Chandler Jones. I mean, this is my opinion. What Chandler Jones shows up. Last year, Chandler Jones was awful. Patriots Chandler Jones, Cardinals Chandler Jones. Those were good Chandler Jones.
Yep.
Don't know what happened to him last year. In terms of Chargers, they look a lot better on paper than what they actually perform in every single week.
Yep, we'll agree with that.
So questionable there. Kansas City, I mean, Chris Jones by himself probably makes them the best O-line or best D-line.
I agree.
But
He's
you
a
also
monster.
got Mad Max Crosby, so I'm just gonna go Chiefs Raiders, Chargers, and then Denver. But I mean, I don't really have a problem with any of the D lines. I keep saying O lines. I don't have any of the problems with the D lines. All of them, for the most part, are pretty good. Though Broncos might have taken a few steps back, with some of the trades they made last year. But overall, they're not a horrible D line.
No, they're not, and I'm agree with you. I feel like those teams are in the right order. Like I said, the Raiders are like the real wild card because you have Crosby. He's probably a top 5. What does he play? DN. He's probably a top 5 DN. Then you got Chandler Jones, who he's either going to show up this year or he's not. So he's really the wild card. And then Denver, just because of trades and them needing to kind of like soft rebuild or like reboot, had to get rid of some guys to get some assets. So their strength isn't their D line; it's probably everything else. So I think you're right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're definitely their strength is probably linebackers and secondary. So moving forward now, we're going to talk about linebackers. We'll just name the best linebacker in each group, and then I'll let you dive into it, and I'll question you on it. If I had to say what's the best linebacker in the Broncos, it's either Frank Clark or Randy Gregory, one of the two. Chargers, do we count Joey Bosa? Kind of a DN, in my opinion.
Well,
Even if he is a DN,
they say he's listed at a will. So they're playing a 3-4 this year. So I guess he's a linebacker this year.
But you also got Khalil Mack and Eric Kendricks. Eric Kendricks was awesome for the Vikings. Can't believe they ever let that happen.
Yeah.
And then you got the Chiefs. I'm looking at their linebacking core, and I'm blanking on half of these guys' names. I mean, I know Willie Gay and Cam
Gay's
Jones out of Indiana because he's a rookie. But I mean, outside of that, this is definitely where the Chiefs lack is linebacking. This is where they just kind of fill in and go from there every single year.
Yeah.
And then linebackers for the Raiders. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. They kind of just fill and play every year. No guy on the Raiders linebacking core has more than 5 years of experience except for Robert Spillane.
Yeah. If I had to rank them, I think the Chargers are 1. Then probably I'll go Chargers, Broncos, Raiders, Chiefs. I feel like Chiefs just have too many young guys, a little bit unproven. I mean, Gay is good, but they're just young, not really guys who've made a name in the NFL yet, right? And then the Broncos, they got a couple guys like Randy Gregory, Singleton. I mean, those are some notable names. Yeah, I feel like linebackers. I feel like more or less are becoming a lost art. I feel like we don't really have too many. Like back in the day, linebackers were like you can name plenty, but nowadays, I mean, you only in terms of notable, like even for like a casual fan to like even name, I feel like the numbers are dwindling. So
I just think linebacker every year there's just new names. I just don't think they're as important as they used to be. Because nowadays, with as many wide receivers as everyone puts on the field nowadays, and the lack of the running game half the time, dude, half the time it's a safety playing linebacker, and now we're seeing safety hybrid linebackers. So the linebacker, like you said, is becoming a lost art. Like there is no more, for the most part, Ray Lewis's anymore. It's Ray Lewis's. They don't have those because you can't hit anyone that hard anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's turned to the hybrid, and I remember even when I was playing back in high school, we started doing that. Like a lot of schools, including us, were running like we used to call it like a razor. So it was always a safety who could come down and play off could fill in gaps or even rush off the edge. So a lot of the NFL teams are doing the same thing. Like you said, you got to be able to cover as a linebacker nowadays. That's why you see Michael Parsons like. He can rush the passer, the QB all day, but he has to. I mean, the Cowboys are putting him back in coverage because he's actually really good in coverage too. So you gotta be able to do both.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we got DBs next to round off the positions. Who do you got as your number one? Because I feel like
it's a clear favorite in my opinion.
Clear cut, right? Yeah.
It's a clear favorite. In my opinion, clear cut favorite is Broncos. Broncos by far. And then I'm going to probably say the Chargers, but I think they're pretty much. I'm pretty sure I'm only giving it to the Chargers because of Derwin James. It's just I would rather have Derwin James over the safeties for the Chiefs. I don't think Justin Reed. I don't think there's anything wrong with Justin Reed, but personally, I just think that Derwin James just makes their core a little bit better. But the thing with the Chiefs is they're all fast and young, and they all have experience now because they got forced into it. They had to learn on the fly, and L'Jarius Sneed and Trent McDuffie, they're not the greatest corners, but they don't get beat very often in terms of just getting outpaced. They can tackle, and they know that their offense is going to score 32 points minimum, so they can get beat a couple times, but just as long as they don't, kind of the mindset of bend, don't break kind of thing. Yeah, these kind of corners, they'll let you get down the field a little bit, but they're not going to let you score touchdowns a whole lot. And safety-wise, they're kind of on that same boat. I just think the only one that's far behind the rest of the pack is the Raiders.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Denver, their strength is clearly, DBs and safeties. They arguably had the best DB in Surtain, so it's pretty tough going against them if you're the opposing team. And then Chargers with Asante Samuel Jr. and J.C. Jackson, Derwin James, like you said, that's also pretty formidable. So I like those two. Broncos 1, Chargers 2. Kansas City got a lot of young guys, unproven, like you said. So yeah, them 3, and then Chargers, or not Chargers, Raiders have to be last.
Yeah,
I think that's it. I think that's all the positions.
That pretty much wraps everything up. Any final words on this division? I think it's, in my opinion, clear 2 teams are the favorites. Now that we've finished the AFC off, though, what is your playoff picture like? So, I'll start it for you. I have, based on everything we've done so far, Bills, Jets, Chiefs, Chargers, Jacksonville, and then what is the last one? AFC North, Broncos, Bengals. So that leaves one open spot that leaves one open spot. And after going through all these, seeing the teams get built and everything, I'm kind of thinking to slot the Titans in there as that seventh overall seed.
Okay, I'll do a little quick playoff picture in the AFC. So just taking into account my division winners, I got Cincinnati, I got the Chiefs, I got the Bills, and I think I took the Jags.
You took the Jags.
So the 3 wild cards, I already said the Chargers. I think I said the Ravens. So my 7th team, who's going to slip in. Now, Titans is a good pick. They're actually looking really good in the preseason, and it's just the preseason. But, yeah, I feel like it's I want to say the Dolphins, but I just know Tua is going to get hurt, so I don't want to go there yet. Oh, the Jets. Well, I'm leaving the Jets off. The Jets are making the playoffs. I feel like the Jets are probably going to be the 5th seed. So I get the Jets 5, Chargers 6, and then 7. Ravens. Yeah, I feel like the Ravens will probably be 7.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I just got to go field and Titans somehow make it. I was listening to Colin Cowherd talk about this,
Oh
And
God,
it was a proven fact. I mean, we don't listen to everything he says, but it was a proven fact he pointed out that
he's canceled.
four new teams always make the playoffs every single year. For the last 33 years, four new playoff teams always emerge. So, from our end, looking at this division or looking at the AFC, both of us only have the Jets. I think the Titans can make that 7th seed. Basically our wild cards and everything look the same. If I had to take one out, my hot take is the Chiefs miss the playoffs. So that would be my hot take that makes the Titans get in there. And that would be 2 teams from the AFC.
Yeah,
That's only if my hot take takes full effect. If
takes
Mahomes doesn't
off.
get
Yeah.
hurt, the Chiefs are not going to miss the playoffs if Mahomes doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, I would say my hot take is you need to go at least 10-7 to make the playoffs this year. I feel like the teams are too good in this conference. You're gonna have to go 10-7 at least. I feel like you have to go 10-7, and I think 10-7 team will not make it. So I feel like it might just be the Titans. Titans might go 10-7, but they just, for whatever reason, because of their conference win loss,
Their
they
strength
just
of
can't make.
schedule will be the problem.
Yeah, so they might go. They definitely can. I feel like I said it even in the episode. They could go 10-7. So that's my hot take.
All right. So moving on, we got a little bit of wrapping up to do. We're going to do a little bit of rapid fire. We're going to do 1 through 30 of NFL rankings. We're going to question these players and why they say what they say. We got a little bit of trivia, and then we'll talk a bit about the Women's World Cup. We're down to the semifinals, man. We got to at least bring it up once.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Let's get right into it.
Coming up next.
We just got a little news. Quick
Got
break
some
in the
news.
news. Quick break in the news. Ezekiel Elliott went to the Patriots for $6 million for 1 year. So the Jets are like, you got to get Dalvin Cook 1 year, 8.6. I like the Ezekiel Elliott pickup more than the Dalvin Cook pickup. I think the Jets running back room was already pretty good. Now I think it's a little overcrowded. Yeah, that's a problem. Probably not. I'm probably better off having a lot of good than a lot of mids. Let's not dwell on this. That's for everyone else to talk about. We'll just.
I would also throw in Cowboys Zach Martin. Stop this holdout. They finally paid him an extra $8 million over the next 2 years. I think his salary went up from like $13 million to like $18 million for the next 2 years, and it's fully guaranteed. So the Cowgirls, the fans out there, you got your best offensive lineman back.
See, the thing is, it's fully guaranteed, so he's going to get hurt this season. That's how it works, Moving on to the Women's World Cup. We're down to the semifinals. So now we're going to have basically the bronze, the silver, and the gold medal to go after, if we were to talk about in different terms. So, I know you haven't watched much of the Women's World Cup.
Nope.
It's kind of hard to watch any of the Women's World Cup.
Yeah, I gotta stay up late.
It's at 3:30 in the morning. I haven't really got to watch much of it. I mean, I get to watch the 6 a.m. game whenever they have the 6 a.m. game, or whenever you have the 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. game, I watch it. But for the most part, it's been kind of hard to watch just because of what time it is. It's no fault to anyone. We're just on a different time zone.
Yep.
But to dive into it a little bit, you got Australia versus England, and you got Spain versus Sweden in the semifinals. Now, just a quick summary of how these teams have fared so far in the World Cup. Australia has looked hit or miss. England has looked decent, but they are missing some important player. I was going to say important players, but not really, just one woman. But she's really important. And she got a red card, so she had to miss a game. But she stomped on a player's arm, so they call it stamping. So she's actually got kicked out for another game, so she's going to miss this game as well. So the only way for her to return is in the finals. And to be honest with you, she was pretty important because she kind of fixed everyone else's mistakes that they were making on the field. So second, you got Spain, who has looked amazing at times and extremely questionable at times. And then lastly, you got Sweden, who just looked pretty solid this whole entire tournament. So if I had to say my 2 cents of who I think and how things will proceed, I mean, Sweden pretty much just beat up on Japan. The scoreline doesn't say they beat up on Japan. Sweden beat up on Japan, and Japan beat Spain 3-0. So I'm just going to put it out there. I think Spain could fare well against Sweden. I just think Sweden's going to win. Sweden has just looked too good in this World Cup. I think the only team that's actually threatened Sweden a little bit so far has been the United States team. And, Sweden figured out how to overcome that obstacle. They knew they were going to have to beat the United States women at some point. Getting them out early is just icing on the cake. And then the next one, Australia versus England, I think this is the game that missing that really important player is going to come in to haunt England, and is going to question her actions for a long time to come when they lose on penalties to Australia. And then I got Sweden beating Australia in the final. It's going to be a heartbreaker for Australia since they're at home. But I just think the crowd for Australia is going to help them just get a little bit more and a little bit past up-and-comers England. I know you haven't watched much in it, but any thoughts on those?
No, everything sounded good. Like I said, I haven't been following it. It's been at night. I don't even think I have the streaming service to watch it, unless I want to watch it in Spanish. So I don't mind watching in Spanish, but after the U.S. got kicked out in the round of 32, yeah, I just couldn't. I couldn't take it upon myself to watch it. U.S. women really disappointed us this year. But I feel like it'll be good to have a new country to win. I feel like everyone needs their shine. It's someone else's shine now.
Couldn't have said it better myself. All right, moving on. We're going to move into the top 100. We're going to knock this out real quick. So, 30 through 1. So, we're going to start at number 30. We got Derwin James of the Chargers, safety. Nick Chubb, running back, Browns. Dexter Lawrence, 28, defensive tackle, Giants. 27, TJ Watt, linebacker, Steelers. 26, Jair Alexander, cornerback, Packers. 25, Derrick Henry, running back, Titans. Number 24, Roquan Smith, linebacker, Ravens. 23, Sauce Gardner, cornerback, Jets. 22, A.J. Brown, wide receiver, Eagles. 21, Austin Eckler, running back, Chargers. Questionable names within this group. I'll go ahead and slot my thoughts first. No hate on the Sauce, but as a rookie, finishing the year at 23, in my opinion, is just a little overhyped.
Yeah.
I think he's good. I just don't think he's top 30 good. Better than Jair Alexander with 5 years of experience, good. I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit overvalue on both, but I think my biggest one in this group is A.J. Brown, the Eagles wide receiver. I think, like we talked about last episode, I don't see how A.J. Brown's a better wide receiver than Jamar Chase.
Yeah. Doesn't make sense. Like I said last episode, Jamar Chase is arguably a top 2 receiver. Him or Justin Jefferson. You could throw in Devontae Adams, of course. He's the OG of that group. But I mean, A.J. Brown, he's very, very good. He's just not 22 good. Derrick Henry being 25, I feel like is a weird spot because any other year, I feel like 25 is good. But he was hurt last year. But even though he was hurt, he still had really good numbers. So that's like, for me, that's a weird spot. Like, I kind of want to disagree, but I don't know. It's Derrick Henry. I can't really go against it. Roquan Smith, he played really well for the Ravens. So I don't have a problem with that. Maybe Austin Eckler. I don't know. I feel like Austin Eckler is a red zone threat, but Nick Chubb just dominated last year, like every other year. So I don't know. It's a couple questionable ones.
All right, then moving on. We don't have too much hate for that group. Moving on, we got number 20 is Myles Garrett, defensive end, the Browns. Number 19, George Kittle, tight end, 49ers. Mika Fitzpatrick, safety, Steelers. Max Crosby, defensive end, Raiders. Number 16, Stephon Diggs, wide receiver, Bills. Number 15, Fred Warner, linebacker, 49ers. Oh, wait, sorry. Yeah, 49ers. 14, offensive tackle, Trent Williams, 49ers. 13, Devontae Adams, wide receiver, Raiders. Number 12, running back, Josh Jacobs, Raiders. Number 11, defensive lineman, Rams, Aaron Donald. My biggest pet peeve in this whole group is Aaron Donald. I'll just throw it out there right now. He should be way lower because he didn't play. I'm pretty sure he only played half the season.
Yeah.
I get it. He's really good in the few games he plays. But, I mean, that's just kind of, in my opinion, it's rude on a guy like Nick Chubb, who had an amazing season last year, and you just put this guy here just because of his name. And it's also rude to Fred Warner, who probably had one of the best, I'm not going to say probably one of the best, he had a really, really good linebacking year. Like, this is like one of the first years that we've seen a linebacker kind of take control of the league, like Bobby Wagner and Luke Kuechly did a couple years ago. Like, he's the only outstanding linebacker like that was leaps and bounds kind of above everyone else. You know, Max Crosby played every single game, was pretty impactful in every single game, but you're going to say that Aaron Donald was better in 11 games.
Yeah, I agree. Just like we've been saying the past couple episodes that we've gone over this, name recognition plays a big part into this list. That it seems like so. It's just rude for a guy who played half the season to be number 11. That's just the way it is, right? My little pet peeve about this group. Okay, George Kittle deserves to be 19. But I'm pretty sure like the closest tight end was like what, Mark Andrews or something. Like what? And Mark Andrews is like in the 70s. Unless we might have gone over another tight end before that, but I mean, I don't know. Is George Kittle the 19th best player really? I mean, probably not, but I'm not mad at I think he's like the second best tight end on this list, so I don't know. A little pet peeve of mine.
Well, he is the second best tight end in the league. And I'm scrolling back down through here, and you're right. The first one that comes up is Mark Andrews. I mean, you also have to remember they didn't even put Hawkinson on this list. So tight ends really didn't get love.
Yeah. He's at 19. He is the 19 best player love, though. I'll tell you that.
No, I mean, I don't think I would have put him above Austin Eckler in terms of impactfulness. So
yeah, no.
And we don't even know if Austin Eckler is top 21. So, I mean, you're starting to get into the nitty gritty. Maybe we're too picky. Other than that, I mean, Devontae Adams is fine where he is.
Yeah. Other than that, this group is good.
Yeah, because he's kind of in the middle between. Oh, well, I was going to say between Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, but he basically is right in the middle between the two of them. A little shot at you, hurt your feelings a little bit. I mean, Stephon Diggs is above your boy, Jamar Chase. I think that's fine, though. I don't have a problem with Stephon Diggs being above Jamar Chase because you got to remember Stephon Diggs is a one-man show out in Buffalo. Jamar Chase has got three guys with him. That's the only difference. Same with Devontae Adams last year because, you know, Hunter Renfrow was hurt for most of the season. He's kind of a one-man guy out there.
Yeah, also, no problems there.
Darren Waller was hurt most of last season as well. So lastly...
Still got it bad.
maybe I guess, less controversial part because, you know, the top 10, for the most part, is the top 10. And one thing that was important that both of us believe on this list, most of these guys played every single game, which I think that's the most important thing in their top 10 is pretty much all those guys. Now, if Aaron Donald had been in the top 10, I really would have had a lot of pet peeves. But at number 10, we got Chris Jones, defensive tackle, Chiefs. At number 9, Michael Parsons, edge, Cowboys. Number 8, Josh Allen, quarterback, Bills. Number 7, Tyreek Hill, wide receiver, Dolphins. Number 6, quarterback, Joey Burrow, Bengals. Number 5, Travis Kelce, tight end, Chiefs. Number 4, Nick Bosa, edge rusher, 49ers. Number 3, quarterback, Jalen Hurts, Eagles. Number 2, Justin Jefferson, wide receiver, Vikings. And then last but not least, Patrick Mahomes, the second quarterback, Chiefs. Of that top 10, I believe that all these guys deserve to be in the top 10. Where they fall at in the top 10 is where you can start getting nitpicky. But at least at the end of the day, all these guys made it into the top 10. Travis Kelce definitely is top 5. No offense to Jalen Hurts, I still think I would have taken Joe Burrow at 3 and Jalen Hurts at 6.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
but Jalen Hurts also was having an MVP season.
Yeah, see, I mean, because of that, it's kind of hard to gauge. Especially, I mean, the players are all over the place. So if you want to go just off of last year, yeah, Jalen Hurts was a runner-up for MVP, so he probably should be top 5. I feel like wouldn't be disrespectful towards anyone else. But they got Mahomes board number 1, he was MVP. They got number 2, the offensive player of the year, Justin Jefferson. Had no problem with that. He's a monster. Joe Burrow has to be 3. I mean, Joe Burrow is arguably the second best player in the league. So he needs to be 2 or 3. And like you said, Kelce's he's top 5 no matter what. So from there, you just whoever you want at 4 can go at 4. But I feel like everyone that's in the top 10 deserves to be in the top 10. So no problems with the players in there.
As long as Tyreek Hill wasn't in the top 5, because at 7, I think he's fine. Maybe I would have swapped Micah Parsons a little further up there, just because his overall impactfulness in the game. But also, it's like, dude, no one gets to the quarterback better than Nick Bosa, and not even just sacking. It's just like getting in their heads. Because like, if you listen to his trash talk, like he doesn't even. He's like Philip Rivers in trash talk. He doesn't cuss at you. He doesn't like belittle you. He just says some really dumb stuff. Like I remember I was listening to a mic'd up episode, and he was like, he went to the sideline and he was like, "Man, you guys, I just really wanted to go to Sacktown," and then he walks out on the field and he tells, I'm pretty sure, I don't remember who he told, but he told the quarterback, he goes, "Hey, you know where you're about to go?" And the quarterback goes, "What?" "Sacktown, baby." And then he like sacked the quarterback and he goes, "I got a sackarooski." I mean, it's just like little things like that. Like he's like trash talking you, but he's doing it in a really playful, nice way.
He's just
but
goofy.
It's also like probably annoying to the other team, which, you know, to each his own. But I think like, you know, a Philip Rivers type of trash talk it's fun. But I think Micah Parsons could kind of be slid a little bit higher, maybe above Josh Allen, but then you get like, that's just like really nitty gritty. And I just think the top 10, all these guys deserve to be in the top 10.
Yeah, I agree. As long as these guys were in the top 10, I would have no problem with it. And like I said, the order is just semantics. I mean, they all deserve to be there.
Alrighty. So last but not least, my friend, trivia. Again, since we did AFC West, I kind of stay with an AFC West topic.
Let's hear it.
You told me before you went NBA, so we noticed you haven't changed ever. So Andy Reid is one of 6 coaches to beat all 32 NFL teams. Of those 32 NFL teams, 5 teams have winning records against Andy Reid. Do you think you can name any of the teams that have winning records against Andy Reid?
Cincinnati.
The Bengals do have a winning record against old Andy Reid.
The Pats.
The Patriots do have a winning record against Andy Reid.
49ers?
They do not.
Okay. So I got 2 out of the 6, right?
You got 2 out of the 5. There's only 5
out
of
of
them.
5. Okay, only 5. All right. Buffalo?
Buffalo does not.
Now
one of them is an outlier, definitely. But their record against him is actually one of the best. 2 of them, once you hear them, you'll kind of go, okay, I can understand it. I wouldn't have thought it. And then you obviously already named 2 of them.
I have a feeling Carolina's one.
Carolina is not one. Carolina almost, though. They were 6-5 against Andy Reid.
Buccaneers?
Buccaneers are not.
Damn. I thought Tom Brady would probably put them over the top. Saints?
The Saints are not.
All right. Shit.
Gotta also remember, Andy Reid did coach the Philadelphia Eagles for the longest time.
So it's probably the Cowgirls.
The Cowgirls actually have a very bad record against Andy Reid.
What?
Like I said,
So someone in the it's the Giants. It's the Giants, right?
that whole division actually has really bad records against Andy Reid.
What? I thought it would be someone in the division. All right, so it's not the division. It's probably someone in the AFC, the NFC though, probably. I'll give it 3 more guesses.
There's only 32 teams, so.
Chargers?
The Chargers do not.
Okay, 2 more. Seattle?
The Seattle Seahawks do not.
Damn. All right, last one. I'm gonna go AFC.
Who's one of the best coaches in the AFC?
Mike Tomlin?
The Steelers have a winning record against Andy Reid.
All right, so I got 3 out of 5.
So you got all 3 AFC teams that have winning records against Andy Reid. So a lot of the Steelers, or a lot of Mike Tomlin's mostly, I guess good record is actually from the time when he was at the Eagles. So the 2 that I thought one of them you might get is Green Bay. Green Bay has a winning record against Andy Reid from his time at the Eagles. And then lastly, the one that I didn't think was going to be real is the Arizona Cardinals.
You see, I was going to say Cardinals instead of Seattle, but I figured Seattle's been better longer than Arizona.
Arizona has a winning record against Andy Reid.
But now it makes sense.
Somehow, some way, Arizona seems to get the job done. Arizona also has one of the best records against Andy Reid.
Maybe next time. That was good. 3 out of 5 is good, though. That's above 50%. I'll take that one. All righty. I got another NBA question for you.
Of course.
This one, I feel like it could go either way. Either you're going to get them or you're not. All right. So I feel like you should get at least one. You should get at least one of the answers. All right. So in the NBA, what are there are 4 players that lead a franchise in scoring and assist. Who are those 4 players?
You said 3 players who lead a franchise in scoring. It's 4 players.
Lead them in scoring and assists, like in totality.
I was going to say something dumb right off the rip, and I'm glad I saved myself. I was going to say Stockton, but I just know he didn't. Obviously didn't do scoring, so I would have been really stupid. Just because I have a gut feeling of it, John Wall.
No, John Wall is not the scoring leader of the Wizards.
But he is the assist leader.
I think he's the assist leader. I think Beal is second. I think there's a guy ahead of Beal by like 800 points.
I should have known Beal. I should have known Beal would have more points than John Wall. I should have known that one. Jason Kidd?
No, because Jason Kidd played for too many teams. Nets, then the Knicks, then the Mavs.
Yeah, but I thought he would have been at one for a long enough time.
Not long enough.
Not long enough, you say? Well then, we're thinking about this. We're really getting in our brain here. It's got to be a younger team. So someone who can't have so much. Was it Magic? No, because Magic played with the Lakers, and the Lakers have way too many score. They have. That's stupid. No way, Fiend. Is it? No, there's no way he would. I mean, I might as well go for it, right? Steve Nash?
Nope.
Are these guys really old?
Two of them are.
I'm not going to get those off the... I mean, frig it. Might as well try it. Austin Robertson?
Oscar Robertson? Yeah, he's one.
Okay, well, there's a super old one I was thinking that might be there.
The Bucks leader in scoring and assists. Giannis is about to overpass him.
Russell, no, because he's definitely not. No, he might be OKC, Russell Westbrook.
Okay, that's two.
Okay, because even in Seattle too, like he still beats all the Seattle guys, or is it only OKC?
No, I mean OKC and Seattle are linked together, so yeah.
I mean, forget why not Dwayne Wade?
No, he is the points leader, but assist leader he is not.
Forget Dwayne Wade. Okay, I've gotten a lot of teams eliminated now. I got two. I gotta really think about certain teams.
Yeah, so you already got two teams eliminated, so then you got 28 teams to guess from.
Yeah, but I already know certain teams. I already know certain teams can't have certain guys. So I've already eliminated certain. Like the Lakers automatically are eliminated. Like there's no way Kareem is also the assist leader as well.
Nope.
So
Kareem's not even the Lakers scoring leader. Because remember he played for the Bucks the first half.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't think of that. So no. So way to really throw me on. Is it No, is it Magic?
No, because Kobe's the scoring leader for the Lakers.
Why you gotta do that to me, man? That means look really, really dumb. You know I'm struggling here. I don't watch enough basketball. So I got an old guy and I got a new guy. So that means there's one new guy and one old guy. Is the other old guy really old? Like really old?
He's not as old as Oscar. He's probably like the next decade.
Tim Duncan?
The scoring leader of the Spurs, not the assist leader. I think that's Tony Parker. New Hall of Fame inductee. Shout out to him.
How old can they be? What was it, a weird one like Mike Conley with the Memphis Grizzlies because they're not that old? Oh. Make me feel real stupid here, Markel. Can I at least get the team of? Can I get the team of the old guy?
Pistons.
Ah, fuck that.
That should have gave it away.
I know it did, but I don't know his name. So like I automatically feel he's the guy who got left off the the dream team for was it Isaiah Thomas?
Yep, that's the third one.
And he got left off the dream team, and everyone's all like, "How are you gonna leave him off the dream team?" There, see that guy?
Yep, very controversial.
I wouldn't have gotten that. I can tell you that right now.
Here's the last one. I feel like you should have gotten this one. This one's the easiest, I feel like.
What is it? Iverson?
No, I think is he still a Philly scoring leader? Embiid might have passed him by now.
This one's apparently easy, you say?
Yeah.
And they're newer. Shit. I really don't want to say. No, that can't be right. I don't know, man. I got 4 out of 3. I got 3 out of 4, man.
3 out of 4.
I think I'm doing really good. The fact that you hinted to me that it's a newer guy is really starting to irk me right now.
Mm-hmm. I can tell.
It's got to be a newer guy on a newer team. I don't know it.
All right, you giving up?
Yeah, I give up.
Go James.
On the Cavs? Oh, dude, I would have never gotten that.
What? That was the easiest one.
Dude, he's been at so many different teams. How am I supposed to think of that? The Cavs can't keep anyone for a while. I don't know. I thought the Cavs might have some history with some old guy, but I guess you're right. There was no old guy.
Nah. Let's go James. He did good though. 3 out of 4 is good though.
Yeah, but Coach James, he was in Miami for what, 4 or 5 years?
4 years, and he's been in LA for what, 4 or 5 years?
4 years. So that's 8 years. And how long has he been in the league? 19? 20?
20. He's going into his 21st, I think.
Dang, so he spent 12 seasons with the Cavs, and that's how pathetic they are?
Well, he's averaged a career 27-7, so that's a lot of
crap.
Especially
young.
He was there for 11, 12 seasons. That's a lot.
Get out of here. Don't talk to me.
Well, you did good. We both did good. This was a good week or a good episode of trivia. I'll switch it up for Thursday's episode.
You're not even dumb. I got Goat James wrong.
Goat James.
Now I gotta live that down the rest for all the people to see. I don't know Goat James.
That's a travesty right there, ladies and gentlemen. A travesty.
All right. Well, any closing remarks, my friend?
For me, no, preseason week 1's wrapping up. Like we kind of hinted at earlier in the beginning of the show, offensive lines look bad. There's been some bright spots. I think Malik Willis looks good. Who else looked good to me? Jordan Love looked good against my Bengals.
I'm not gonna lie, Jordan Love did look kind of good.
But some of our, I will say for the Bengals, some of our newer DBs are looking really, really good. So, that's good. People are hyping up Justin Fields for like his 3 throws, but like 2 of them were like
2 of them were screens, my guy.
They were screens. So
he's just looking at DJ Moore is that good.
Let's pump the brakes on that. Other than that, I think we just gotta look forward to USA basketball. They played Spain and they played someone else over the weekend. I didn't watch the games, but they're gearing up to play. I think next week is when they start playing for real. I think. Don't quote me on that, but that's something to look forward to.
Alrighty. Well, had a good conversation with my friend.
Yes, sir.
Again, I hope you had a wonderful day. I'm not going to say a good day this time. I hope you had a wonderful day. And I'll see you on Thursday.
See you on Thursday. Peace out, y'all.
Peace.